If you can tap into what is it, what am I here for, and find a way to connect that to your work. And the truth is that it probably already is in very many ways. A lot of people will tell me, but Linda, I can't afford to quit my job and go work for a nonprofit organization to be able to have purpose in my work. And I would say that somebody lied to you because you don't have to go solve world hunger to be working in your purpose. Your purpose is really broken down into two pieces, your what and your why. That's what I want to dig into today. So my what, I want you to think about this as, what am I here for? And what is the contribution that I'm here to make? What is the impact that I am going to make while I'm on this planet? I want you to think about that. Like, take a moment. How is it currently connected to the role that you're in? For me, it was the second thing I kind of stumbled into. So like I said, I was working at a software training company as a trainer, and I was loving what I was doing. But I also started volunteering at a shelter for homeless and abused women and children. And when I did that, I started feeling like there's something more. There's something more I can give. There's something more I can do. And it actually led me to start the Computer Training Partnership, a nonprofit organization to help economically disadvantaged adults find jobs. But it started because as I was at the Raleigh Rescue Mission, back then it was a shelter in Clayton, North Carolina, called Riverside Christian Center. And I was just volunteering, helping out and encouraging the women, but they captured my heart. And I knew, gosh, there is something so much more for me in what I'm doing. Now, I also at the same time got laid off. So that was kind of genius. So I started the nonprofit organization, and the Raleigh Rescue Mission partnered with me and gave me a lab of computers to do it in, and Microsoft gave me money. And it was just like, wow, I can actually take this career to another phase, another level. And as I look back now, my what had been guiding me. What I've discovered is that my what is when I can help people really connect to what they're born for, when I can help them discover their what, and what contribution or impact do I want to make? And like I said, so you're all making a part of it right now. If you look at your career and find out what brings you joy, where do you feel like, man, I could do this all day? Again, for me, I didn't realize at the time, I didn't have this language until a few years ago. But my what really was all about helping people become who they're born to be and release their genius into this world, because the world needs what you have. I don't believe that anybody was born accidentally. You were born for a purpose, for a reason. Even in Strength Finders, the science goes deeper to say that the way your synapses were wired, your brain, your hardwiring, is so that when you do what you're born to do, it feels good. It's easier. The synapses fire. You're better at it. This is where you're going to get easily promoted into bigger and better things from where you are, because you're following your what and making that contribution. Okay, so there's two parts of purpose. The first one is your what. Think of your what as your contribution. Your why is your motivation. And everybody has a motivation. And sometimes they actually would call that your passion, but motivation, the thing that drives you. And what's beautiful about motivation is that it literally is the magnet that draws you to doing what you do. And so when you are really connecting in and discovering your motivation or your why, then jumping out of bed, like I jump out of bed in the morning because I can't wait to help people become who they're born to be so that they can make their impact in the world, no matter how big or small, right? Whether it's end hunger or homelessness or human trafficking, or whether it's in your space in technology and providing employment for people. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what you're helping with. So whatever that motivation is, it becomes the reason I wake up before my alarm clock goes off. You might find there's a core why. Now, I only discovered my core why back in 2016. It was very personal for me. My father, I was daddy's little girl, and I just loved him so dearly. And he worked so hard and he tried so hard, but he, as a serial entrepreneur, he just kept failing and failing, not for lack of trying. When he passed, I know that he took a lot of his treasure with him. When I learned that, when I realized that, he was always like my biggest champion, like, go for it, Linda, go live the dream. And if you fail, you can always come home. And it gave me this permission and this freedom to really go for it in my life. And I would say that that is a huge part of why I am, in my words, living my dream and making the impact and the contribution in the world that I desire. And so my why is that I never want anyone to take their treasure with them, locked away inside and not ever found. I'm fortunate that I found mine, and I want to help everybody else find theirs and live it. And so my core why, there are some other whys along my life that have been layered on top, but at the very bottom, it really comes back to my dad and his struggles and not wanting others to struggle that same way.